Live from the East Lansing Underground, this is 88.9 bringing you The Basement. I'm Liv, your host, and we have a pretty special show going on tonight. A few things look different. You can't see us right now, but when the video comes out in a few weeks, we're in one of our offices, so it's a little bit more of an intimate space for today because we have a special guest with us. Would you take a sec to introduce yourself?
Howdy, I'm Will Henry. I actually work here at Impact, but it's great to be able to perform here.
Yeah, we're super excited. So Will works with us. He's a host of your own show. Yeah, would you talk about it for a sec?
It's the alternative country station, which is great because, I make alternative country music, so it's just a pleasure to be able to host that. And I'm also an audio engineer, so I work on the basements a lot.
Yeah, and that's part of why we're all so excited for the show tonight. We got a bunch of people packed in the office because it's so awesome to finally celebrate one of our own. We have so many wonderful and talented people in this office, and to kind of shine the spotlight on the people behind the scenes is a really huge privilege. So I could talk about it for literally years, but would you mind kicking us off with the first song?
Yeah, let's get into the first one. This is the first song off my last album, Blue, which you can find on Bandcamp or Spotify or any streaming under the name Will Henry. But yeah, here's My Love for the Sea. Thank you. This one is called I Need You. This one was written purely about I wanted to be in the ocean. I wanted to be in the water. But yeah, so this is it. I'll start it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. That brings you to the end of your songs from Blue, right? That you have tonight.
Yeah. It is. I was planning to do an ambient set or an ambient little track, but I couldn't really figure it out, to be honest. The last song was kind of a complete experiment, just messing around with electronics, and I really liked that I was able to do it for the recording, and that's kind of all I need from it. So it made me happy recording that, but I don't need to perform it.
Yeah, I'm glad you're able to kind of play with what you know as your boundaries and like push it a little more, and the next thing you release, it'll be a little more in another direction. And it's just constant growth.
Totally.
It's exciting to hear about. I do have a question that it's been told to me that I should ask. What is your Smash main?
Ooh, I'm still trying to figure that one out, I'll be honest. Yeah, I've had a lot of mains in the past. I've played Wii Fit Trainer.
That's a new one. I don't know if I hear people being enthusiastic about that one.
That's why that was what kind of attracted me about it. Is I was like, nobody plays this character.
So niche. I'm not like others.
Yeah, I really like Kirby though. Kirby is just a fun. I just think I love the Kirby games, and Kirby's a fun character to play. So yeah, that's probably what my current main would be is Kirby.
So I hear where this comes from. I hear you used to announce for Smash Bros. Tournaments.
Yeah, I did used to announce for Smash Bros. Tournaments. That's really funny.
We have our research. We have our sources.
Yeah, where did you find that? Back in Springfield, we would have local tournaments, and me and my friend in high school, my friend was incredibly good at Super Smash Bros. And I was not nearly as good, but I could go and announce, and that was fun, and it was just fun to feel like I was part of like that scene and like feel competitive without actually having to devote so much time to the game. So it was fun announcing for sure.
Did you do like a play-by-play as they were competing? You would narrate what was happening,
exactly.
give an announcer voice.
They would live stream on Twitch, and so I would hop on the mic, the like headset, and just talk during the Twitch and during the live stream tournament. So yeah.
Can we get a sample of the announcer voice? Putting you on the spot here a little bit.
I can try. I'll have to come up with something. This is really embarrassing, but I can try to do it. Kirby goes in for a dash attack. Oh, and that chains right into a down air. Oh, and then an up tilt to combo into an up air. And bam, they finish it with a spike off stage. And it's untechable.
It's going down in history now.
No, this is official.
Years
now.
down the
This is
line, when you're
recorded.
being heralded as like a folk legend,
and a Smash announcer.
Yeah, and a Smash announcer. We can hark back to this and say, we know where the roots were. We know where it all began.
Yep, in Nintendo's hit game Super Smash Brothers.
Thank you for indulging me on that.
Of course.
Very brave of you. But it's not the only piece of media that's played a role in your history to date. I hear you're also a very big fan of King of the Hill.
Oh,
and like the show, but also the music.
Oh yeah. No, that's for sure. That's probably maybe my all-time favorite show just ever. It's so great. It feels so American. Like it's like some shows you have, like I feel like with like anime, you kind of have to be aware of maybe the culture and like the what is it, like the staples of anime and stereotypes of it. And then I feel like King of the Hill is like anime but for like American. Like it's super like Southern America, like working class. Some might call white trash. I don't really like that term, but like yeah, that's what I love about King of the Hill. It feels like the whole joke or the whole show is just inside jokes that I'm glad I'm aware of. And I mean, Bobby Hill is an incredible character, my spirit animal, and that's my next tattoo is hopefully going to be a Bobby Hill tattoo.
This is a big role in the making of Will.
Yeah.
Okay, but the music as well, I hear, is very much in your lane and your taste of like Americana folk.
Totally.
Type sound.
The soundtrack is just full of little like electric guitar things. It's got a little like something like that. We're on like a transition, and yeah, I mean the intro is incredible. And there's this one episode it's one of my favorite episodes where they actually this ties in perfectly because they so Connie, who is one of the neighbors of Hank, plays the violin like in a classical style, but then she jams with Hank, who has a guitar named Betsy, and they suddenly start this bluegrass band where Connie is just fiddling away and just like shredding the fiddle, and then I think Bill plays the washboard, and it's Boomhauer plays the banjo, I'm pretty sure. It's really great. And then they go to this fiddling competition in Branson, Missouri, which is 45 minutes from Springfield, Missouri, a classic place. It's got Silver Dollar City, it's got all kinds of things, the Branson Landing, and I just love that episode because it goes country music and then it goes to home, to Missouri, and that's like the greatest episode of TV in history.
If you had to like write a song about that episode, about the show in general, what would it be called?
Ooh, that's a really tough question. I feel like that's my hardest thing is coming up with names for songs, because I feel like a lot of the choruses I do are really long, like sentences, and it never really flows off
Yeah, like, how do you distill
the
it?
tongue. Yeah, exactly.
What's the band that always has, like, crazy long song names? Is that a Fall Out Boy thing?
Maybe. I
Where
know
they have, like,
Sufjan Stevens has a lot
Yeah.
of really long song names.
Just a paragraph.
yeah, and they're like all in lowercase, and it's, yeah. I really don't know. That's so tough. I feel like a good title would be like RV Mud or something like that, and it'd be like a boot gaze, like country shoegaze,
Bootgaze.
like, yeah.
Whoa.
Like,
Is this a term
song.
of yours, or is this, like, an existing thing?
I'm not sure. My dad told me about boot gaze, and then I'm pretty sure, like, somebody from Wednesday or something tweeted something that was like country shoegaze, and then my dad replied boot gaze, and then got like a bunch of retweets like, this is the official name now, and so like I call it boot gaze now.
Oh my
'cause I
gosh, we
love
have like
that.
multiple legends in the family.
Yeah,
The
I
originator
guess
of
so.
boot gaze.
Yeah, supposedly the term coiner.
I feel like shoegaze is one of my favorite like genre modifiers. Like to be
Yeah.
like tacked on to another genre, not just
Totally.
like in name.
Because
but
it's like so modifiable. It's like so loud and distorted, but you can just like
it's more
add
just
things
like
into it.
a haze. It's
Mhm,
adding like a
totally.
haziness to the music. I just saw a band that was like punk rap shoegaze, and they were so phenomenal. Because
Yeah.
it just adds this like dreamy state to it.
100%. No, I love the term bootgaze, and yeah, shoegaze. That's what I love about shoegaze, especially. Is I feel like a lot of things can become shoegaze. Shoegaze doesn't even feel like a real genre. It kind of just feels like a modifier or something.
Yeah,
It's
like a
it's-
style of playing.
Yeah,
almost more so.
yeah. It's yeah.
Which I guess
love
is
shoe-
any genre.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean genres are kind of genres are weird anyways. You know, I feel like genres limit a lot of people in a lot of ways, but
Yeah, it's like aesthetic culture. I get
Yeah,
it. Like it can
yeah.
help people find
totally, I
kind
think
of
that's
their
yeah, it
what
helps
they feel. but-
find and like curate things, which I think is incredible. But
yeah, but beyond that, it's like don't let it limit you. you know?
totally, don't get pigeonholed by yourself
Mm-hmm.
by saying you're only gonna make this genre when it's like just make what you want to make. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
it really is. Yeah, it's shoegaze is interesting though.
So for people seeking to curate, what would the Will Henry genre name be or aesthetic name be?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I classify it by kind of what I've been influenced by. Lately, I've been super influenced by alternative country and freak folk artists such as like Bonnie Prince Billy, Bill Callahan, Smog, Songs Ohio, any kind of sound like that. And so I classify my own stuff as alternative country usually. Folk, I mean, that's the thing where genres get like confusing between folk, alternative country, like they really don't mean that much at the end of the day. But yeah, I guess I would just call it folk because I'd say I make pretty simplistic instrumental choices, and something about folk, I feel like all music is actually folk music, and that's what I love about folk music is folk just feels like, you know, it's the folks music. It's anything that you make and put your heart into, and I feel like all music is folk music at the end of the day. So I just call it folk to make it pretty simple.
So it's about the sentiment, you feel like.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, it's really hard to classify my own genre because that could always change based on, you know, like it's hard to describe. I could describe how a song sounds, but not how I sound, because I'm not my songs. I'm like, I don't know, I guess I'm me, and my songs are another part of me, but I'm not like purely my songs, you know? I guess that's
Sorry,
kind of
I'm
abstract.
unpacking. I'm
Yeah,
trying
no,
to
it's a little...
grasp every part of
it doesn't
that
really make
sentence.
all that much sense, but like it is just like, yeah, I don't let like the sound of an album define me because I want the sounds to change. So
yeah,
it's,
no, completely. That's the best thing about an amazing band is they're able to play around with their sound and maintain what they are at their core because they know who they are.
yeah.
It's true of individuals as well.
Yeah.
Knowing who you are is what's important, and there will be different interests and different eras and seasons of your life.
Yeah.
But-
It's kind of interesting because it's like, I feel such a strong identity with my music that it's like asking, like, what genre would you classify yourself is almost like, it's like, what type of person are you? You know what I mean? Like, what is that? You know, what is it? It's like, oh, how do I even answer that? You know, it's not that it's an invalid question, but it's just that it's like, wow, it's a loaded question for sure. It's a lot to unpack. Yeah, I mean, my music is an amalgamation of everything, just like someone is an amalgamation of their entire life. So it's definitely tough to answer that, but I would say I definitely lean towards a folky sound or Americana sound for sure. Yeah.
How has that, so we of course have like the folk musical influences, but also style-wise, I hear you draw a lot from The Big Lebowski. Is this true?
Yeah, I do. I mean, that's one of my all-time favorite movies, up there with, I mean, King of the Hill is not a movie, but like I could watch King of the Hill and Big Lebowski on a marathon back to back, and it's incredible. But yeah, I mean, they've got Bob Dylan on the soundtrack. I'm a huge Bob Dylan fan. The Man in Me on that is great. But especially the last song is Dead Flowers, which is originally a Rolling Stones song, but it's covered by Townes Van Zandt, and he is the GOAT to me. I mean, he's incredible. He is like the greatest finger picker. He is just puts his heart into everything. He's so melancholic, but just so poetic and beautiful, and I love the way he interprets sounds and the way he approaches music. And so that, like, Big Lebowski just has so many great songs, and Townes Van Zandt is up there as maybe the number one.
I feel like we've heard a lot of artists and influences from you, and it's so interesting because it's like, I wouldn't say it's esoteric, but it's definitely outside of my wheelhouse, so it's like so many new things to explore and research after this session. But who would you say inspired you when you started writing music, and who is like most inspiring your current idol to you now?
Yeah, it's the Beatles for sure were the most inspiring. I know that's a pretty standard, but for a reason. I mean, they really just changed the way I listen. I mean, I've never heard, and really nobody had heard recordings like that until they made them. And I know a lot of people hate on the Beatles, like, because there's a lot of people that like only listen to the Beatles, and they can be really annoying. But I mean, the Beatles really just were like the first thing that I was like, wow, I could write music. Like, I feel like they're just like normal people. And then I listened to George Harrison's solo stuff after the Beatles album, All Things Must Pass and Give Me Love, and it's really just incredible. And that was definitely like one of the first ones that like really wanted me to start music. Another one being the Flying Burrito Brothers, which is like, I love the name of it, and they have and is the Graham Parsons. He's like a country legend that died when he was like 26, and they're from the Byrds, and they started this whole cosmic country sound that I just love. It's got pedal steel with like fuzz pedals on them, and like it's just so psychedelic, but it's so country at the same time. And that one was a big one that I was like, whoa, I want to make country music. I want to like mess around with that. And yeah, but currently it's tough because it definitely changes. Right now I've been listening to a lot of Neil Young lately, and that has inspired me a lot. But Big Thief I've been listening to a lot of, and Adrian Lenker, and yeah, that kind of stuff. I mean, probably I think the biggest one might be Songs Ohia, Jason Molina. His music is just so incredible. The song Farewell Transmission, like, it's so good. It's like 7 minutes long, but it feels like it's 3 minutes long, and I feel like I could listen to it back to back. And Jason Molina is like such a sad but like inspirational story that I think that's probably my biggest inspiration at the moment for sure.
And with all of these like great names that are going out there and creating something, like, how do you think that happens? Like, how do you make something that no one has ever heard before?
Yeah, I mean,
it feels almost impossible.
It does feel impossible.
I mean,
it goes back to the experimentation thing that just, I guess people are themselves. And it's kind of like, I mean, it's like when you meet a new person and you're like, I've never met somebody like this before. I've never met somebody with this history and with this story.
Like
and
this presence.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Or this presence. Yeah, like this aura around them. Or just the way that they like turn their head. You know what I mean? The way that they like move their body. You're like, I've never seen a person act like that. But it's like, I love it. Like, I love that the way that person acts like that. And I guess it's the same thing with music, is that you're just like learning about people, and you're learning about people that you didn't know about, and sounds are like, it's like people that you weren't aware of, and then suddenly you're aware of, and you're like, wow, I've never heard something like this, and then you're like, oh, now it's normal, like I'm used to this sound. But it just keeps happening over and over, because it's just, music is like an expression of people, and so it's kind of just like meeting people that you've never met before in a way, and I love that.
That is a very beautiful way to put that. Just a nugget of like truth.
Yeah.
Of humanity.
That's what I love about art in general. Just it's not just music. It's, I mean, any kind of art. It's just expressing yourself, and I love seeing expressions that I've never seen before.
It's discovering over creating.
Yeah, and then that inspires you more, and it inspires you to be yourself in a way, because you're like, wow, how do they do something like this? And then you're like, oh, they're just themselves, and that's just who they are. It's like, I shouldn't mimic them. I should just also be myself, and then I'd be just as unique as they are. So,
yeah. Funny segue. As we're speaking of being unique, the next song you have is a tribute to another great artist.
Yeah. So, yeah, that is kind of funny that I'll be playing a cover. But, this next one is a Bill Fay song. It's called Be Not So Fearful, and it's just a really sweet song that, like, I feel like it's really relatable, and it really just, like, I don't know, it got me through a lot just listening to this song, but yeah, I can play it.
Not so nervous, be not so frail. Someone is watching you, you will not fail. Be not so nervous, be not so frail. Be not so nervous, be not so frail. Not so sorry for what you've done. You must forget them now, it's done. And when you wake up, you will find that you can run. Be not so sorry for what you've done. So sorry for what you've done. Be not so fearful, be not so pale. Someone is watching you, you will not leave the rails. Be not so fearful, be not so pale. Be not so fearful, be not so pale. Be not so sorry for what you've done. Someone is watching you now, it's done. When you wake up, you will find you can run. Be not so sorry for what you've done. Be not so sorry for what you've done.
Thank you, but I won't take credit for that one.
What does great music make you feel?
I guess relatable a lot of the time. I mean, that's kind of the connection usually, is somehow they know me, even though this person is almost fake, you know? The saying, like, you should never meet your heroes, but it really is just, like, somehow they know me through, and they don't even know I exist. Somehow they know my presence. But also just something that, I mean, it's as simple as just tickling your brain. I said that before, but it's like, it really is, it's like a unknown chemistry. It's like falling in love with somebody. Like, you don't know why. You feel that connection, and it happens. And you can quantitatively describe what specific things you like about that. But it's just context, and it just worked out. And so that's the kind of music that connects with me. I guess that's the kind of music that connects with everyone, but that's what I see in good music usually, is someone that's putting their whole heart into it, and like respecting that. Because a lot of times I enjoy music that doesn't always relate to me. I mean, it could describe someone's upbringing that is a completely different upbringing to me, but it still hits me in a special way. And I guess I just love music that has a connection to the creator of it in a way. Not to like undermine covers or people who write for others, because I think that is a completely important, like, I mean, I think that's my only problem with the Beatles, is that I feel like they set this standard that you have to write your own music, and I don't think that is true at all. I think it's entirely about how you can feel it, and if somebody writes something and maybe just wrote the chords, you can completely put your own twist on it just based on how it feels and how it connects to you. It's like the same thing with the listener being the artist. It's like the player is also the artist, even if they didn't write the song. So
yeah. Well, I can't wait to continue hearing all of that, like the passion and the love and the care that you put into everything that you make going forwards. And thank you so much for coming and sharing Blue with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I mean, it's been a dream to be on this show, so I'm so glad I can finally do it. And it's been so fun. I'm so glad that I could share myself with the world.
Well, it's been a privilege to put a spotlight on Impact and to show everyone that we have an awesome team, we have an awesome group of DJs, we have an awesome art team that puts all of this wonderful work out into the world, but also some pretty incredible individuals who make beautiful art in their own time. So thank you for sharing it with us. This has been The Basement on 88.9 Impact. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next week.